Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Zoom is doing that weird thing again, where I have people in the waiting room, but you're all in here. I don't know what's going on with Zoom. All right. Um, Last time we met, you all were working on this. Again, the reading for the worksheet is already in the chat box here. So when you click on the worksheet and it has links at the top, you don't want to do that because it's going to be blocked. So you don't need to do that because when it says based on the tutorial, they mean the two passages that are already in the text box. So you just want to hop back over here and read what's on this page. Okay, what you had to do with that worksheet, and some of you have done it and some of you haven't. This is going to be late today if you haven't done it, is you needed to take these statements here and put them in order. So this needs to be a sentence that makes sense based on what you read. This one, the first three are like that. They're just scrambled sentences. You have to put them in order. Okay. Then you had to answer. Then you did have to do select the correct answer based on what it said in the reading. Okay. This section as well was on dominance, and based on the reading, you had to number them 1 through 5. They already did 5 for you. So you just had to do 1 through, put these in one order, 1 through 4. And then you had to complete these boxes down here at the bottom. So we're going to work on practicing this. So I'm going to put a new assignment in and we're going to work on the first two together. Hold on. You want to, and I'm in Canvas in the module. Okay, not that one. That one, the assignment. All right, so we are going to practice doing Punnett squares, which is what those things are at the bottom of the worksheet. Those are called Punnett squares. So we're going to do, I'm going to work through the first couple with you today. All right. So if you turn your worksheet in already, look at this. And then in particular, to do the worksheet, you want to all right, so this is a Punnett square. Okay, everybody should be in Canvas right now. Log into Canvas. You're on that second page that says monohybrid and dihybrid crosses. Some of these are tongue twisters. All right, so we're going to read over this. I'm going to give you a few minutes to read over this while I do attendance. But in order, if you haven't done your Punnett squares yet, this one walks you through how to do a Punnett square. So notice that they're using colors. We're going to try to use multiple colors today as well. And up at the top, you have what we're calling, remember, this is like meiosis. During meiosis, we produced 4 cells. So you actually have 4 letters. Each of those letters represents a gamete. Okay. Each of those letters represents, okay, I'm trying to get, yes, and I'm reading your message as well. But in case you haven't done that bottom part of the last assignment, this will help. So So what you have to do is understand, and this is an example. So each parent has two alleles, and in this case, they're not the same. So again, you got to learn your vocabulary. These two alleles are not the same. One is capital letter, one is a lowercase letter. That means the capital letter one is dominant. The lowercase letter is recessive. So this one, because they're not the same, is heterozygous, but it's heterozygous for the dominant trait. And so is this one. They're both the same, heterozygous for the dominant trait. Okay. The recessive trait is hiding behind the dominant one, so it's not going to show up. So when we talk about these, that's the genotype. What genes do you actually have? Okay. What it looks like are yellow or green pea pods. So yellow, when we use Y because yellow is dominant. So yellow, they look yellow because yellow is dominant, but that little Y there means they're carrying a gene for green. Okay. So when we take those and we put them on our Punnett square, this is what y'all was doing at the bottom of the worksheet. You got one parent on the top, the other parent on the side. So you got a capital Y and a lowercase y up top and a capital Y and a lowercase y on the side. Then you take them and you place them in the boxes. Okay, so this is what you had to do on that worksheet. You had to place those letters in the boxes. One from the top, one from the side goes in that box. This one from the top, that one from the side went in this box. From the top and the side, that box, this one and this one in that box.
You're not sharing. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought, what happened to my share thing? I had shared it at the beginning of class and then it disappeared. Oh, I don't know what. That's the first thing I did was share. I don't know where it went. There we go. I'm so sorry. Let me back it up. All right, so I'm in Canvas. I'm in Canvas. Let me back this up a little bit. And you are on the page that says mono and hybrid crosses. Okay, that's what I should have. I must have clicked something and made it share disappear. Okay, so this is where we are, and I want you to scoot down to the little box down here that says Mendel's original experiment. Well, that actually starts off. Okay, let me go back some more. So if you start yours from the beginning. Okay, so I'm so sorry. This is what I was talking about. Thank you, Imani. All right, so these two letters are showing that this is a hybrid, okay? And hybrid or heterozygous. And because of the capital Y, that means yellow is the dominant characteristic over green. They're looking at the color of the plant, okay? And they both are carrying a capital Y or the dominant gene for yellow. So yellow is going to be what we see. That's going to be the phenotype. But the genotype, number of genes they have, because they have a dominant and a recessive, it's going to be dominant for yellow. Okay, so this is the info. And then with these genetics problems, they're all going to be word problems. So this is why I'm going to walk you through the worksheet for today, because you have to learn how to read a word problem and then put it in the Punnett square and work it out. All right, so they're taking that information there and they're putting one parent on the top and one parent on the bottom. And I like this one because it's animated. It shows you where everything goes. So like I said, in meiosis, this would have been the 4 gametes that were produced, 2 from mom and 2 from dad. And then you're going to put those letters in the box, one from the top, one from the side, and you place them in the boxes. Okay. So again, they got a capital Y here and a capital Y on the side, two capital Y's in this box. A lowercase y and a capital Y, that goes in this box. Capital Y, lowercase y, that went in this box. Lowercase y, they went in this box. Okay, now on the worksheet that you all had to do, that's all you had to do was to figure out what goes in the boxes. Today, we're going to have to read, what does that mean? We need to read what's happening in this box, which is what the next step is going to show you. Okay, so according to this, the genotypes, and again, what genes are present, there's three different kinds that show up when you have two heterozygous parents meeting. You get one that is pure homozygous yellow. You get one that is heterozygous yellow. And then actually you got two that are heterozygous yellow. And then you got one that was homozygous recessive for green. Okay. So even though we're using a Y, we're using the lowercase letter represents the recessive trait, which in this case is green. Now what we're going to look at is looking at ratios. When we talk about what do we get, three of them, even though we have three different genotypes and one is recessive, three of them are still homozygous. They are three dominant for yellow, and only one is going to appear green. Where the parents were not green, you get one that will be green with we call the second generation. All right, so we're going to talk about ratios today. So the fact that there are three that are going to be yellow and one that is going to be green gives you a ratio. And y'all know ratios from math. This is 3 to 1. So when you combine two heterozygous parents, you will always get a 3 to 1 genotypic ratio. Okay, 3 to 1 ratio. Actually, this is a phenotypic ratio because it's actually representing 3 yellows and 1 green. Okay, this is Mendel's ratio. That's what we're going to work on today. So what I'm going to let you do for the next few minutes is I'm going to go back and make sure that you, all right. So again, read from that page, but then, and I'm going to do it with you on, so because some of you have trouble doing, show you how I do it on a doc form. But for these, again, you're taking the two on the top, the two on the sides, and you're matching top and bottom goes in this box. Top and bottom goes in the next box. Okay. Over here, the last couple of ones, they already tell you what's in the box. You have to figure out what the parents would be if, in order to get this result in this box, what did you have to have up here? To get that in that box, what did you have to have over here? Okay, that's what they're testing you on. In order to get what's in the box, this one is the same as those up there, but in order to get these in this box, what did the parents have to be? Okay, all right, so I'm gonna give you a few minutes to get that turned in, and then I'm going to load the next one. And I'm going to work through that one with you. I'm going to do the first two with you, and then I'm going to let you have time to work on the rest of that. Do attendance first. That must be my only class where everybody comes to class all the time. So attendance takes me 2 minutes. Everybody's here. Takes me longer to open the app than it does to do attendance. Okay, that is done. Also, if you haven't done the progress learning, please make sure that you've done that. Everybody has not completed their progress learning activity. All right, so I'll give you 5 more minutes to work on that. Um, I have to do this 2 different ways. All righty. Okay, I had to take all the answers off of my worksheet before I share. Okay. Okay, so I am sharing now. Okay. All right, so stop what you're doing. And I'm going to share today's activity, and then I'll let you go have time to finish both last week's and today's when I finish. So if you're in Canvas, just go to the next page, and you should have something on your next page that says Punnett Square practice questions. You want to open up this worksheet. And I'm going to work through this with you. I'm going to have to switch screens because I can't write on this. Download this so that it's a Word doc so that you can write on it. But our objective is to write the genotypes, list the gametes, complete the Punnett square, state the genotypes, and state the phenotypes. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing for 1 minute so I can share my next page. Yeah, I got to change. All right, give me 1 minute to switch pages, but you should have that pulled up. I just have to switch pages so I can get to the one I can write on. All right. And actually, for those of you who don't know how to do this, I'm going to, whoops, not you. I'm going to try to redo this so that you know how to do this. I can't, there we go. I want to make this disappear, and I'm going to redo it to show you how to do it on your worksheet. All right, it's being obnoxious, so I'm just going to show you up here. All right, so you want to go up to the top on your insert page here, and you want to insert a table. Okay, and we want, come on, insert, mine is being slow. Come on. We want three rows and 3 boxes across. That's what we want. All right, why is mine not working? So if you select 3 and 3, it'll create a table like that. Hopefully yours is working. Mine isn't working, but that's how I created this box, and that's what you want to do, and you want to put it under the word gamete. Okay, we'll try one more time. I don't know why it's not doing, but I made all these boxes just by inserting a table, making it 3 rows down and 3 rows across, and then it'll show up over here. All right. So again, this is how you're going to read all of these word problems. Please have your worksheet up and do the first, I'm going to do the first 3 with you. Okay. All right. This problem is telling you that in pea plants, we're going to, tall is dominant because they're going to use the capital T for tall, and short is recessive. So you got that information just by reading that first line. Tall is dominant because it's a capital T, and short is recessive because it's a lowercase t. And we always use the letter of the dominance. I don't want to see T's and S's on your paper. It's a big T and a little t. That's all you need to have on here. All right. The problem that you're going to solve is you are going to cross. That means you're going to mate a heterozygous tall plant with a short plant. Again, you need to know your vocabulary. If they're telling you heterozygous tall, that means it has 2 different alleles. It has one for tall and one for short. So when we write the genotype of the parents, we're going to write capital T, small t for one parent. And we always, when we say cross, we put a little X there to say we are crossing that parent with a short one. Okay, so that's going on your first line for parent genotypes. And that's telling me, let me see if I can make this a little bigger. Can I do that? Excuse me. That's kind of smallish. Come on, be big. There we go. In fact, I need to make everybody a little bigger. How about that? That's teeny tiny. All right. So on your first line, and again, you're going to put the X in there to represent you are crossing, because it says cross. You are crossing a heterozygous tall plant, so that's your big T, little t, with a short plant. That's your little t, little t. The gametes, and we're not going to put anything on the line because we're going to put them in the boxes. So this is how we're going to do. We're going to separate them, and these boxes represent, and I'm going to color code this as well, like they did. So let's see. I'm going to make the first parent brown. But we're going to separate them. Oops, come on. I gotta tell everybody. All right. And then I'm on this side, I'm going to make them, and I would do yellow, but yellow doesn't show up so good. So the this oh, actually it's going to go green. How nice. It remembered. Let me just do that since that's what it wants to do. Okay. All right. So the ones on the top are this parent here is, I put them in the boxes across the top, and that's going to represent those gametes from that parent. And these two I put on the side, and that's going to represent those parents from the other, the gametes from the other parent. Okay, and then we're going to fill in the boxes. So we're going to put, and then big T goes there, and we're going to take one from the top, one from the side. So that's going to be the little t. And we're going to do the same thing, that top one and with the bottom one. I'm going to leave it like that since, and then we're going to take that top one, which was recessive, with this one on the side, which is also recessive. And then we're taking the top one with the one on the side, and that's also recessive. So technically, I can go back and make these match like that. You don't have to, you can do yours colors the way you want, but that's the way that shows. So we've done the parent genotypes and we've done the gametes. Okay, these are the gametes. Each one of the box always, there's always 4 boxes, and the box represents 100%. Okay, these are the 4 possibilities that you can get from when you cross 2 parents with those characteristics. Okay, now we have to read what's in the box. So what's in the box, as far as genotypes are concerned, we have 2 that are big T, little t. And that would be because they're not tall, heterozygous tall. I mean, they're not the same, heterozygous tall. Okay. All right, and then we have 2 that are little t, little t. And they are, because those are the same letters, they are homozygous. Always forget how to spell these. Short. Okay. All right, so that's the genotype. And that's just the reading what's in the boxes. So now to do it as a ratio, you can do 2 to 2. That's the ratio. Okay, so this is just explaining what I see in the boxes. And the ratio is 2 to 2. 2 tall, 2 short. But now down here, this is where I want to say there are too tall. What do I see? What will I see? Too tall. We don't say anything else. Just say too tall and too short. Okay, or again, two. Okay, so then now we've satisfied all of the questions about, we wrote the parent genotypes. We looked at the gametes by putting them in each of these boxes. We completed the Punnett square. We stated the ratio for the genotype is 2:2, and we did the phenotype ratio 2:2. We also explained what we mean by that. So these are heterozygous, and these are just short and tall. Because when you're looking at something, you can't tell whether it's heterozygous or homozygous. You just know whether it's tall or short. So genetically, you need to say whether they are heterozygous or homozygous. Phenotypes, you just need to say what is dominant, what is recessive. Okay? All right, the second one. So everybody, any questions about the first one? All right, the second ones. You have in guinea pigs, you have black fur, and they're giving you a capital B. So that means that black fur is dominant over white fur because they put a lowercase b. So again, reading the problem, they give you that information in the problem. So when you go down here, you're going to cross, your job is to cross two heterozygous guinea pigs. So that means both the mom and the dad are heterozygous for black fur. Okay. All right. So you are crossing them. I'm sorry. This is what goes on the first line. Okay. Heterozygous means that they don't have the same alleles. They have a big B and a little b for black fur. All right. That's what goes on that line. I've already done the gamete box for you. I didn't erase that one. So by doing the gametes, we created our Punnett square. And again, to do that, let me see if it'll work for me this time. Yay. Okay, hold on. Don't do that. Trying to show y'all how to do it in case you did, those of you who don't know how to do it. All right, we're going to just delete everything. All right. And that was a line that went up there. All right, so I'm going to try this one more time. All right, so what you want to do to create the box is just do that. Okay, and you see it automatically created a box for me. And then what you do to make it not so exaggerated is you just smooth the lines over. So you can make the box a little smaller. And then you can fill it in. All right, you don't want it there. You want it in the gamete space. So if that was the case, I would just drag it over there. Okay, but since I've already got a box, I'm going to delete that one. Okay, come on, delete. Anyway, I'm just going to leave that alone because that's just going to hold me back. All right, so you create your box. You put again, we're putting our gametes, the two from mom, two from dad, on the top and the bottom. I made them in different colors again. And then we're going to fill in the Punnett square. So we're going to, top one is going to be a big B, and the side one is a big B. And then for this box, it's going to be a little b from the top and a big B from the side. You always do the capital letter first. Over here, one from the top, one from the side. Again, from the top and from the side. All right, notice we have differences here. And let me see, I'm going to color code mine so that you can see the obvious differences. Come on. Trying to be creative is hard work. Um, Right, I'm gonna leave those black. And then I'm gonna make this one. What color are we gonna make that one? I would make it white, but then that wouldn't show up. So let's make it up here. That's not showing up either. So you got to be careful with your colors because they don't show up. Blue. All right, there we go. All right, so we've got 3 different colors here. So when we're looking at our genotypes, we've got one, and I'm going to type that up here, one that is, and that means that it is, because they're both the same, homozygous black. That's what that's telling me. And I guess I am going to erase this. Delete. Table. Okay, get out the way. All right. And all right, the second thing, I have 2 of these that are going to be heterozygous black. Okay. Actually, let me do this way. And then I have one that is homozygous white. And it would be nice if I spelled it right. All right, so you do have to describe what you see. So this, I just got that by looking at what's in the box. So my ratio is 1 to 2 to 1. Okay, that's my genotypic ratio based on the information I have there. Now, what I'm going to see is different. I'm going to see 3 black guinea pigs and 1 white guinea pig. Okay, so the genotypic ratio and phenotypic ratio are not always going to be the same. This one, they were the same. This one, they're not. Okay, and again, we're doing, if we were writing this out, it would be 3 black fur versus 1 white fur. Okay. All right. Now I'm setting up the next one for you, but I'm not answering all the questions. So you've got to do, so there are 8 problems on this worksheet, and you've got to do the rest for you. This one, I'm going to set it up for you, sort of. I set up the box. All right, so in humans, attached earlobes, like mine are not attached. Mine are free earlobes. Most of us have free earlobes, but attached is a dominant characteristic. Okay, that means your earlobe just goes straight into your face. So that's a capital A. Free earlobes is a lowercase a. So if I'm separating and it's part of my, oh, that's because, okay, let me see if I can't make my box come back. There we go. All right. So one parent, you're crossing a homozygous dominant individual. That means they both have 2 genes that are the same, and you're crossing them with a heterozygous individual, which is capital A, lowercase a. Okay? That's what it says. And then I did the gametes. I put the gametes in the box. You have to fill out the box, and then you have to answer the rest of the question. Let me see. I can make this whole. Oops, that's not going. I don't want to do that. All right, I'm gonna leave that alone. But the rest of mine is over here. Mine is 2 pages for some reason. But hopefully yours will stay all on the same page. All right. So I'm gonna let you practice with that. Does anybody have a question about what you have to do? So you need to finish the first one, which is simply fill in the boxes on that one. And then complete this one. Okay? I'll stop talking so that you can do that. Hopefully you were following me, so you already have the answers for the first 2.5. And actually, because I like you, I'm gonna fill in the answers for you. Or at least fill in the box. Not fill in all the answers. I'm gonna let you do the ratio, but I'm gonna fill in the box for you. All right, boxes are full. The rest is up to you. You've got to tell me the genotypic ratio and the phenotypic ratio. That means you have to first tell me the homozygous, heterozygous information and the phenotypic information. Everybody okay? Anybody have a question? Okay, I got a couple of y'all idle. I hope that means that you're working on your worksheet in documents. Again, my phrase of the year is use class time for class work. Then we don't fall behind. We're not turning in late assignments because we have class time to do class work. You have to make the Punnett square. I closed mine. So let me open it back up. Give me 1 second. All right, Raymond, are you saying you don't see the Punnett square on the paper? Because you had to make one. Or you're not seeing the Punnett square worksheet? Which one? You got the worksheet, you just need a Punnett square?
Yeah, I got the whole worksheet. I got the questions, but there's no Punnett square for me to
Right,
chart it.
right. So you're gonna have to draw those. So again, let me show you how to do that. You're gonna come up here. Let me first of all make sure I'm doing. All right, so you're gonna come up here to insert. Actually, let me put, I think you gotta put the thingy there first. All right, we're gonna insert. We're gonna come up here to table. So yes, folks, you're all gonna have to make a table. And this is how I do it. All right, and okay, mine just went where it wanted to go. So then I'm going to drag it to where I want it to be, which is down here on question 3. Where to go? All right, so I want this to be with my question. I want it to go right there. All right, so that's what you're going to have to do. And then to make it a little smaller, so you're going to have to make one. Now, I don't know whether you might be using a different tool where you can draw the box. It's just easier to do this as a tool this way. I don't know where this side is, why it's not there. Where's the side? There. I don't know, sometimes technology is so much fun. All right, but you're gonna have to draw the box every time. So so you might want to just go and draw boxes for all of your questions ahead of time. And then worry about filling them in. Hopefully it will do this. Stay there. Insert table. And you're going to go 3 and 3. Yeah, well, that one worked. So just go ahead and put a box for all of your questions right up underneath gametes. 3, 3. And then you can adjust it afterwards how big you want so that you can write in and out. You don't have to make it bigger because technically you can type. I made mine bigger so that you could see what I was doing. But you're going to have to make a box for all of your questions. Okay. I think I lost a question. I thought there were 8 questions. Somewhere along the way, I lost the number. Yeah, there are 8 questions. For some reason, it just renumbered it. So yeah, I don't know why. All right, that's 4. That's 5. That's 6. Don't know why it did that. And that's question 8. All right, so there are 8 questions. And you're going to have to create a box of your own for each question. All right. All right, any other questions, folks? You got about 5 minutes left to class. Ask a question. Now's the time to ask.
Your pastor has been lying to you. Not
Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? All right. So if you know what you're doing and you have no further questions, I will see you on Friday. You all have a great rest of your afternoon.